Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Love for Intuitive Astrology. So, my name is Michelle, and I'm an intuitive astrologer. I combine my knowledge of astrology with my intuition, and this will be reflected in this video. So, today I will talk about the upcoming full moon in the sign of Capricorn, which will happen on the 10th of July, 2025 at 18 degrees. And I will start off with describing this full moon in general, and then we're going to dive into each and every single sign. Most accurate is your rising sign, okay? But you can also check your sun sign and your moon sign. Also accurate, but mostly I would say the ascendant sign, okay? Um, you'll see this little one popping up sometimes. Yeah. And yeah, before I start, I just want to let you know this is obviously a general reading. You can also book a private reading with me or look into my coaching program, which is really diving deeper into your psyche, your blueprint, and your astrology. Okay, so let's have a look at this full moon. So we say that, when the moon is in Capricorn, this is at its detriment. And the reason why is because, it's in an opposite sign of Cancer. So the moon is at home in the sign of Cancer. And when we look at the sign of Capricorn, this is all about hard work. This is about getting stuff done, having a plan. You know, this is also ruled by Saturn, the planet of karma. So the moon likes to go with the flow. It's nurturing. It's more about receiving. And, these two signs don't go so well together. So it's more like Capricorn wants to put the feelings aside and just, go and do what you need to do. Now, the moon is in a trine with Mars. Mars is also in an earth sign. So here we have kind of this go-getter energy, okay? I just want to get stuff done. Like I said, I'm gonna put my emotions aside and I'm just gonna go for it. Like, even though I feel uncomfortable, even though I feel that maybe, I need some rest, I still want to finish this thing. And especially where Capricorn is in your chart is going to indicate where you're kind of gonna put your feelings aside. Hello, little one. I'm gonna put you on the ground because I'm filming. You cannot just play with my earbuds and everything. Come. Oh, he's getting cheeky now. Anyways, and then also Mars is getting closer with the South Node, both in the sign of Virgo, ruled by Mercury. So here we have, you know, old anger coming up, and maybe like, angry thoughts, a little bit of angry thoughts. But sometimes these angry thoughts can help you achieve what you need to achieve. Okay. So use this anger for good, use it for a plan, use it to get stuff done. Okay. Because there's a nice flow with this moon. Okay. It's a trine. So here you can find the courage to get the things done that you need to. Okay. But yeah, be careful not criticizing yourself too much, not getting too angry. Yeah, old feelings might be coming back. So the South Node is very much related to your past or your past lives. And Mars can indicate, anger coming back. So this could be conscious anger or unconscious anger. Okay. It really depends on the position of this conjunction. And it's not that close yet, but it's going to get closer, especially after this full moon, further in July. So after more or less the 12th, 13th of July, you're going to feel it more. You're going to feel it more strongly, especially by the end of the month, okay, during this new moon. But yeah, you're going to already start to feel things boiling up. And, it could even be that people come back from the past angry, and you're like, okay, that's fine. That's your opinion. So, use this time, use this anger. Like I said, if people come in starting a fight, I always say karmically is the best to not react. If, they angry about something and it's valid, talk about it. Take accountability because this is what Capricorn wants. Okay, take accountability. But if it's something that is really nothing to do with you, or the person is having some kind of jealousy or is angry, because some people get angry at you, project it on you, but actually they're angry at themselves. Okay, so try to define those two differences and see how you can handle the situation by, really observing your emotions and not reacting. And I think the moon in Capricorn is very good at that. Okay, but Virgo can sometimes, because it's ruled by Mercury, so thoughts go very quickly. But at the same time, yeah, it's a perfect timing to go after what you want. Maybe you have been holding back. Maybe you were always thinking like, yeah, now is not the time. Now is not the time. But then you're like kind of pissed at yourself. Why have I been postponing this for so long? Maybe it's time to go after it now. Okay. So these angry thoughts might really result into you taking action. We have Jupiter now in Cancer, okay? And it's in a square with Neptune. So usually that means quite a bit like self-indulgence, but Neptune is in a conjunction with Saturn. So it's kind of holding that back. So it's about you having this vision on what you would like to do in life. Neptune is now also retrograde, okay? So maybe you have some hidden dreams that you didn't tell people about, and it's time to confront those. It's time to put those to the forefront, okay? And to take action on it, to read, maybe gain some wisdom about certain subjects, okay? We have Venus in the sign of Gemini in a conjunction with now Uranus in the sign of Gemini. And I made a separate video about Uranus and Gemini, so you can definitely check that out. I'm really discussing it more in depth, but I'm gonna talk about it a little bit here as well. Because yeah, we're talking here about Uranus in an air sign. Now, Uranus is quite strong in an air sign, right? It rules officially the 11th house, Aquarius, and now it's in the sign of Gemini, okay? And it just moved into Gemini on the 7th of July, now conjuncting Venus. And Venus is love, it's money, it's self-love, and Uranus wants freedom. So a lot of you are craving financial freedom, freedom of free flowing love. And, this desire, these thoughts, because it's in an air sign, so it mostly comes from thoughts, are really pushing you towards this plan that you're having, okay? Because we have a nice balance of elements. So you can take action on what it is that you want to do, but do it in a grounded way. So think about it, think things through, write it down, and take action. Okay. There's really a nice balance going on, and you will have the passion to take action right now. Okay. So there's going to be two types of people around this full moon. There's going to be the ones that are angry at others. Why do they have this? Why do they have what I don't have? And then there's the type of people who are going to use like this passion and this action for yourself. This is always the highest outcome, okay? Because anger is not bad. Anger is sometimes good. It can even show you a boundary. Like when you're angry, you're saying, you know what? No more of this. It's been enough. So it's good to have anger, okay? Especially impacted by this conjunction with the Virgos, okay? Um, so yeah, be careful what you say. I'm a Virgo, so I'm gonna be careful with what I say this month. But yeah. Anyways, I'm ready to go to no, I'm not ready to go to all the signs. I still wanted to discuss actually the moon in the sextile with the North Node, and we have the sun in a trine with the North Node as well. So here we have a sense of destiny. So like I said, it's quite a big full moon. Here you're going to make changes. Here you're going to say like, you know what? This is what I want to achieve, and this is what I'm going to do to achieve that, okay? And it requires really balanced energy of flowing, being in this feminine energy, which is related by Jupiter in Cancer. We have Cancer season right now, and also making a plan and taking action, okay? And having this desire for going after what you want. Maybe it's financial freedom. Maybe you want to feel free, more free, right? Uranus in Gemini can give you a lot of brilliant ideas. It really triggers progression. It triggers, yeah, ideas that maybe you wouldn't have before. So listen to your ideas, make a good plan, stick to it, and you're gonna be just fine. So let me get the chart up for all the signs. Let's start with Aries. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So for you, we have this full moon in Capricorn in your 10th house, okay? And it's opposing your sun in the 4th house. So here we are trying to find balance between work life and home life, okay? Because Jupiter is in the 4th house. So a lot of you are maybe rebuilding your home, um, decorating your home, selling your house, buying a house. And yeah, maybe this new feeling of home or having a strong connection, even with family, is having a positive impact on your work, okay? Because that's why it's in an opposition, because the 4th house is your roots. And when those are very strong, you're going to feel stronger in your public presence, okay? So you're going to come across maybe a bit more serious. If you're in business or even if you're on social media, people might see that you have an air of, I'm serious with what I'm doing. I'm dedicated. I'm serious. Then Mars is getting closer to the South Node in the 6th house. So be very careful with your health, Aries. Anything that comes up, like some of you will have fever, could be having fever. It could be hormones that are going to be impacted, okay? Or your intestines. Intestines could be impacted as well, okay? Yeah, Saturn now in your 1st house. So if you're an early degree Sun, Moon, or Rising, Aries, you're going to be highly impacted by Saturn. And Saturn is going to be your heart teacher. It's going to teach you some lessons that, in order to achieve what it is that you want to achieve, you have to maybe either give up something, maybe you have to work harder, maybe you have to rest. This lesson is different for everyone, but it can kind of restrict you. And sometimes when things feel tough, you're going to appreciate things so much more. Okay. When things are flowing after that, you're going to be like, yes, I'm so happy with that. Okay. Because sometimes when things are going well all the time, we might take stuff for granted. Like, yeah, you don't see how much you actually have and how important it is to be grateful. Uranus now in your 3rd house together with Venus. So you might have some really brilliant communication around this full moon. The things that you're sharing, they might really click with people, even maybe shock people, but it's with Venus. So they're kind of loving what you have to share, what you have to say. Okay. And Venus is also in a trine with Pluto in the 11th house. So you're going to have some good conversation with friends. Pluto is in the 11th house, okay? And it's retrograde. So some unresolved stuff with friends might be coming up, but maybe you're going to also see who your real friends are. Okay, because Pluto is showing you the extremes. Like people are trying to control you or not serious about you. And they're going to leave your life most likely, or you need to have some good conversations. Okay, now the sun and the moon are in a positive aspect with the North Node, which is in your 12th house. So don't forget to rest when you need to, Aries. Okay, patience, passion ignited. Look at that. Okay, also be very careful with work. Okay, your work that you're doing, because we have Mars and the South Node coming together in your 6th house, and it could be that there's some tough conversations at work or that you be aware with what you say, okay? I'm getting patience. So it's time to have a bit of patience, because with patience and rest, you're going to feel your passion again. Because sometimes people just keep going, keep going. And if you keep going, you kind of cannot feel what it is that you actually want. You know, some people are always surrounded by so many people, and it's really hard then to differentiate what it is that you want or what it is that maybe other people want for you. Okay, so make sure to distinguish those two things. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Aries. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time. So let's move on to Taurus. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. So we have this full moon at 18 degrees in your ninth house. So especially impacted are the Taurus, sun, moon, and rising who have an 18 degrees sun, moon, and rising. And, you know, it's making a grand trine with Mars and also the South Node. Okay. And they're coming closer together. So here we have a huge change coming in. Okay. And let's look at the ninth house, because here we have the moon in the ninth house is all about curiosity, it's about traveling, and you're kind of taking the knowledge of the world very serious. And sometimes you're skeptic about some teachers, maybe, you know, you like to challenge the teachers. So this might be a time where you're going to do that, you know, and you're going to do maybe a bit of your own research. Like, yeah, you're saying that, but I don't know if I fully resonate with it. Okay. Some of you might be studying, and actually, it's a good time for you. Okay. Because Jupiter is also in the third house and the sun. So if you need to do any exams, you're definitely going to be supported with that. Watch out with your kids. Like maybe there are going to be some words with your kids. Okay. Um, yeah, there might be a bit of frustration there. Make sure that you don't outer your own frustration on your kids, especially if, you know, if it didn't come from their way. Also, there might be some passion coming up, a creative project that you would like to do, but you could be a bit frustrated about it because it's not going as fast as you would like it to be. And you could be very strict with yourself because Virgo is strict with themselves, and especially with Mars. So I'm going to talk badly, like, why isn't it working? Why isn't it going this way? So it really requires patience. Okay. Maybe you need to study something extra before you can actually move forward with it. Because we have the sun and the moon in a positive aspect with the North Node in the 11th house. So maybe this is something you want to share with the world or show the world. So it requires a little bit more studying. We have Venus and Uranus in your second house. So there could be some unexpected income coming in. Going out is possible as well, but we don't have a lot of bad aspects there. So most likely it's coming in. You could be, you know, finding new creative ways on how to make money or have a plan towards that. Okay, so um, yeah, your mind is going to be very creative. You're working on your spiritual journey for a lot of you, and you're gonna see what resonates most with you, because we have Saturn and Neptune in the 12th house. This is a perfect placement for you to do some voluntary work, to meditate, to do yoga, and to really see what you can give to the universe, which skills, talents that you would do even if you don't get paid. Okay. Um, let's get you a card, Taurus. Yeah, romance as well. Some ex might be coming back, a little bit angry. Be aware that you don't react, don't respond. Try to respond in the most calm way possible, because this is a test, okay? The South Node and Mars are bringing some tests. Spiritual strength. So a lot of you are definitely on a spiritual journey right now. And You're being lifted up. And this card has the 9 on it. And your moon in Capricorn is in the 9th house. Okay. Um, so doing research, taking things step by step. If you want to grow spiritually, look at that. Look at your shadow side. So maybe there's something you're going to uncover during this full moon. You have Pluto in the 10th house. So what exactly can you solve when it comes to work, when it is about when we talk about your shadow side? So what are you not seeing about yourself that maybe others are projecting to you? Okay. And this transformation is going to give you the job that you want, because Pluto is always really direct, it's making things really hard. And it's usually about manipulation and dominance. And, it could be as simple as you have a dominant boss and you keep accepting it. So your boundaries are not very good. Could be the other way around. Maybe you're trying to control people so you feel safe within yourself. So there's some shadow aspect that is going to come forward, but also that's going to, ultimately give you the job that you want, because maybe you aren't in the right job, and Pluto will show that to you. Okay. So yeah, be very patient, make a good plan around this time. If you're pregnant, be very careful this month. Okay. Treat your body and your baby very gently, because this is really important. Okay. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Taurus. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to book a reading with me, check out my website or subscribe to my channel so you don't miss more of my videos. Yeah, I hope to see you again. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Gemini. So Gemini, Sun and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Capricorn in your 8th house. And here we have it in an opposition with the Sun in your 2nd house and Jupiter in your 2nd house. Okay. So Gemini, you might be thinking about investing money, right? Because we also have Uranus and Venus in a conjunction. So you're thinking about financial freedom. Um, More money could be coming in, especially for Gemini rising. If Jupiter's already in your 2nd house, then yes, money can be coming your way. Just be very aware, because Jupiter is the lucky planet, gives you a lot of money, but you're going to feel so generous that maybe you're spending it all. So look into investments, but Capricorn only likes long-term investments. So if that's something you want to do, make sure that you look at long-term investments, taking money in and something that will become a good amount after 20 years, for example. Now is also the time to keep up with your taxes. Yeah, if you have work in, for example, accountancy or work with money, then yeah, this could be a really good time for you. Yeah, I'm getting a brain freeze. I don't know why. Also, 8th house is related to transformation. Okay. And for you, sometimes that requires hard work. So if you're going to work on transforming yourself and you're in therapy, take it one step at a time. You're going to uncover some emotions, and maybe some emotions surrounded by your mother. Okay. If there's any patterns that you need to break, then this is the time. You might want to change your looks right now, like have a complete different look. You want to be rebellious. You want to change certain things. Okay. Um, Mars is getting closer with the South Node in the 4th house. So be very careful with fights with the family. Okay. So you might be fighting with the family. You might be having some disagreements there. So make sure to not react. And if you're very angry, that you try to tell it in the most calm way possible, because everyone's dealing with the same the same aspect right now. So everyone is a little bit hot-headed. Okay. And for you, that would be related to the family. So anything related to insurances, papers, take some extra time to go through it. Capricorn doesn't like to rush, okay? So don't sign anything very quickly. Make sure that you read it a couple of times before you set any contracts, okay? Saturn is in the 11th house, conjuncting Neptune. And yeah, here you are going through a bit of a phase with some of your friends, and you're gonna maybe not at first see very clearly who are your friends and who are not your friends, but you're gonna figure it out over the course of time, okay? Because we have Saturn, which wants to show you, and then we have Neptune, and Neptune can sometimes say, like, you know what? I don't like this story. I'm gonna make this story nicer. I'm gonna make this story on how I want to see this. Okay. Let me get you a card, Gemini. Let me get you a card. Oh, it's flying on the ground. It's flying on the ground and it says stand your ground. So maybe Gemini, you're gonna have to stand your ground with something. Okay, you're gonna have to tell people no. Maybe you have to sacral chakra. Okay. You're going to have to listen to your intuition, listen to your creativity. Maybe someone is trying to talk you out of something, but you feel that really resonates with you. We have now the sun and the moon in a positive aspect with the North Node in the 10th house. Okay. Disruption. So maybe your family or your friends are trying to talk you out of something. You know, does that earn enough money? Is that going to be good for you? Is that something, you know, you want to do on the long term? You're going to have to listen to your own feelings, okay? Shadow side. It's maybe your shadow side that you want people to give you validation, okay? Or give people the power to make you feel small. Emotional loss, okay? Sometimes you have to lose something to gain something, okay? Temptation. Like temptations could be distracting you from your path, okay? People that maybe don't want the best for you, and they're giving you all these temptations to distract you from your path, okay? And I definitely have had this on my own path, on my spiritual path, right? That I had friends that were trying to lure me in, like, you know what, come do this, come do that, you know, you're so boring. And I didn't listen to myself. I was, you know, I didn't have that strong backbone yet that I needed to develop to say, no, actually, that doesn't resonate with me. So you're going to figure those things out around this full moon. Okay. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Gemini. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. I also do readings and I have a coaching program. So you can check that on my website. And until next time, let's move on to Cancer. So Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Now with Jupiter in your first house, expanding you, expanding your vision, and really bringing this optimism that maybe you felt wasn't there for a while. Okay. Be very careful with food. That's the only downside of Jupiter here. It expands everything it touches. So, yeah, make sure to balance that out. But other than that, it's a really nice placement, okay? Venus and Uranus now in your 12th house, okay? Uranus here in the 12th house is giving you a lot of ideas that you get, especially by spending time behind the scenes, by spending time with yourself, okay? And maybe there are some things that you still need to resolve when it comes to love. There could be someone coming in, you know, like offering you this freedom because we have this full moon in your 7th house, okay? This is all about relationships. And there could be someone coming in offering you all this freedom and offering you, you know, all these good things, but is that really what you want? Okay? So, especially if you're already in a relationship and you're getting this like cheeky offer, um, think about it twice, okay? And what it is that you actually want. Um, this can trigger a new partner. Okay, we have this moon in a trine with Mars, so it could be someone coming in on a trip or someone traveling to you. Just make sure that this person doesn't come in with anger or, someone from the past that's coming back to set the skill straight, so to speak. So make sure that they come in with good intentions, but you're going to feel it. And if it's not, you have a huge possibility on closing this karmic cycle. Okay. Closing this karmic cycle and standing up for yourself without getting too angry, because Mars and South Node can make you verbally angry. There could be some conflict with sisters, brothers, with your siblings, or even with your neighbors. So anything that has been irritating you for a while could be coming up, or in general, you could be talking harsh to yourself. Um, Maybe you have a hard time actually speaking up when it comes to relationships or saying what it is that you want. Okay. So here it requires you to be patient and to say what it is that, yeah, that you really want or need from someone. Then we have this sun in the first house. Okay. So, first of all, also happy birthday to my sun sign Cancers who have your birthday around the 10th of July. I hope you're having an amazing day. This is a really good time to do manifestations. Okay. That's why they blow out a candle on the cake. Here you can spread your desire into the universe. So yeah, the sun and the moon are in a positive aspect with the North Node in your ninth house. So here there might be that your life is going in a different direction. Okay, some of you are traveling with a partner, you're traveling by yourself, and like I said, you might be meeting someone, and you will decide if this person is good for you or not good for you, because Capricorn is serious. Like you want to have serious commitment. Okay. So don't put your feelings aside to make something work that is not meant to work. Okay. But if this person sticks, shows you with persistence and consistency that they want to be with you, then you know the answer already. Okay. Work is quite heavy, serious, but also if you work with these energies, you can build something lasting because Jupiter is helping you here. So you can build a lasting company, you can build a lasting impression with the work that you are doing, especially if you're in the spiritual business or in the arts, or you do stuff that are creative, like a designer, or you're making some kind of marketing campaigns. Yeah, you can make a lasting impression with the work that you do. Let's get you a card. Triumph and success. So, Cancer, you're working towards success right now, even though sometimes it doesn't feel that way or things feel a bit complicated. But do you see this knife? You are cutting through cords with people and you're cutting away what is no longer serving you. Okay. Doesn't mean you have to cut off people, right? That's really the last resort of things. But it's about cutting off what no longer serves you. This could be bad habits. This could be not speaking up when you need to, thinking you're not good enough, those kind of things. You see, the passion, follow your passion and what it is that you really want to do. Like, what is holding you back? Solitude. Like sometimes you have to be alone for a little bit to figure out what it is that you want. But I'm getting victory and success. So you're going to be supported. Don't give up. If it doesn't happen right away, it will happen with time and with consistency. And also with Jupiter in the first house, okay? Because you have to mix the different energies right now, but let the opportunities come to you while you're working on your plan, but also letting it go. Okay. Sounds really confusing, but that's usually how also manifestation works and how you can mix the energies of feminine and masculine, which is basically this full moon in Capricorn. It's a mix of masculine and feminine. So, yeah, that's my message for you, my amazing Cancer. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Leo. So, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this full moon in Capricorn is in your sixth house. Okay. So, here it's highlighted your daily routines, your health. Okay. So, if anything is coming up, health wise, then, it could be like you're holding water in your body, or you're you're feeling joint pain or certain cramps. Just make sure that you have a look at that, go to a doctor, have a healthy routine. So here you could decide to switch a diet or to pick up a diet that really works for you. Okay. And because it's in the sign of Capricorn, it's best to take your time and see what best suits your body. Okay. Also with sports and routines, like find a sport or a routine that gives you consistency, and also that it's not too extreme, because Capricorn cannot deal with two extremes. It likes to slowly build or do something, even what you like, a certain skill, that you like, becoming a good dancer or doing something that requires some kind of skill in your sports. Also related to work, listen to your emotions, to your feelings. Some of you need some rest because Jupiter in the 12th house and the sun is in your 12th house. So if work is a lot, it requires a lot from you. Make sure to nurture yourself, to rest. It's really good to be in the water. So take a bath, go swim in the ocean or in a river or in a lake if that's possible, and just clear away your thoughts. Then there is Mars in Virgo, coming closer to the south node in your second house. So be very aware of money, because money might go out quite quickly at this time. So the more angry you get about the bills, the more money is going out, okay, energetically. So if bills are coming in, bless them. And I learned this from someone that I was following. I think his name is Ken Honda. Yeah, he's like this happy, happy millionaire, and he says, "Bless your money, even though if it's going out." So I want to give you this tip, like bless your money, bless your bills, because people worked also for that money. And if you see it in that perspective, that there are people behind the scenes who worked really hard to make everything happen. So at least you're blessing those people, and it makes things easier. Also, there is some anger that you can use to make money and to find new strategies on how to make money. Okay. So there will be some focus on that this month, but don't make any emotional purchases. Very important. By the end of the month, we're also going to have Mercury retrograde. So, in general, especially technical stuff, I would wait for that if you can. Okay. Uranus now in your 11th house together with Venus. So, spending some lovely time with your friends, reflecting ideas with them, they can really bring in some new perspectives that you didn't think about. So, spending time with them could be really good for you. Um, yeah, bringing in many new perspectives. Mercury's in your sign, giving you, I am hearing a lot of ideas, giving you the passion. Think about it, visualize it, what it is that you want. Triumphant success. Look at that success. Next year, Jupiter is going in your sign. Okay. So you're kind of working behind the scenes now towards what it is that you want to happen. But sometimes you need to take some rest as well. Okay. So anything up with your health, take it very serious. Sacrifice. Sometimes you have to sacrifice time in order to invest in yourself, because that's important as well. Rest is important. Spiritual journey is very important, right? When we're connected with ourselves, we know intuitively where to go and what to do, because Jupiter in Cancer there can bringing a lot of intuitive insights, Leo. But what happened is that we're living in a world where we're constantly being disconnected from ourselves. And it's just so hard to keep high energies. It's so hard to stay with ourselves and to really feel what it is what you want, right? So take that time to feel. Look at that hope and light. So even though things aren't always right away happening for you, when you feel connected, you kind of can feel in your body the reason why things haven't worked out yet. Because you can be like, it doesn't work out now, but, because otherwise you're going to get in this boredom. Life is boring, life is this, life is that. And sometimes life is meant to be boring. And you know what? When you decide that you can entertain yourself and you can be okay with silence, with peace, you will see suddenly life begins to pick up and take you to the new place. But sometimes we have to get to a place where we finally come into rest, where we finally feel more peace, okay, with ourselves. So you are in this journey, this in between phase where you're learning more about yourself. Okay. And especially early degree Leos, if you have like around between 0 and 5 degree sun, moon, or rising, you have Pluto in an opposition, which is really triggering you to break certain patterns within yourself, within moon emotions, your sun, your identity, or in your partnerships. That, if you have Leo ascendant, that's going to really trigger partnerships for you and what you're attracted to. Like, so you are in this transformative state, and your friends can really trigger some brilliant ideas within that. Take your rest, okay? Because it's really important, and write down all the ideas that you have right now. So that's my message for you, my amazing Leos. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to book a personal reading with me or look at my coaching program, have a look at my website. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much. So let's move on now to Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So this full moon in Capricorn is going to be in your fifth house. And especially if you have your Sun, Moon, and Rising at 18 degrees, you're going to be highly impacted, or around 18 degrees. Okay. And the moon in the fifth house is giving you some new ideas, maybe on creative projects, things that you want to finish, right? And because Capricorn is in your fifth house, it's you're taking these creative projects very seriously. So maybe there's something that you want to develop, something that you actually want to make your job in the future, or you're working towards that. Now is the time, right? Because Jupiter also is in the 11th house. And this is where you can show part of your creativity to the world. And maybe you have to look within your inner child, like what kind of wounds are stopping you from showing these talents? Like, do you think it's never good enough? This is very Virgo like, to think that there's always something missing, being a perfectionist. So you're going to have to look at your childhood wounds and see, what is holding me back to work on this creative project, or to work on these creative skills that you have. And Jupiter in the 11th house also brings in new friendships. So your friend group might be expanding, and these are usually people that feel like family, because Cancer, it's not a sign that wants to have lots of people around them. Okay. It's more about, I pick the people that really feel like home, that feel like home. And we also have Mars in your sign. Okay. Mars is getting closer to the south node. And it's kind of like you have to be careful a little bit this month, because you might be getting angry, angry at yourself, angry at people, or people get angry at you. Okay. So it could be related to the past or past lives. Like things might be coming up that Yeah, it could be related to childhood, things that were unfair, things that happened to you. Okay. Um, it could even be related to romance or romantic situations that happened that kind of come back and they're there for you to be resolved so you can be in a healthy relationship or you can have a better relationship with your already current partner. Okay. This could also be a time of conception. It's not super duper the time for it. But if you do get pregnant, make sure, especially this month, that you're very careful for your health. You don't overdo things, do too many sports, and also have a healthy diet. That's really important right now. Uranus just went in your 10th house. Now, I made a separate video about Uranus, but a lot of you will have lots of ideas when it comes to work. You want to break free. You want to be free in work. You don't want to be like submissive in your work anymore. So you need to either become self-employed or to work in a job where you get so much freedom, where you can fully express yourself and where there is room for quirky ideas. Okay. And we have it in a conjunction with Venus. So if you're doing something online, on social media or something like that, you could be breaking through with something out of the box because you have this great idea and you're going to present it, could be in any job, and that's going to get a lot of attention, right? Because especially with now the Sun and Jupiter in the 11th house, the attention is very quickly going to you. Okay, the masses are going to see you. So if you are want to work your way up in an organization or you're working on social media, this is really the time to present yourself. um Mercury is in your 12th house, so you can be a bit, like, I wouldn't say shy, but it's like sometimes it's going to be hard to find your words. But at the same time, Mars is in your sign, and your sign is ruled by Mercury. So there could be some anger that you feel, but you don't know how to explain it in words. Okay. Be very gentle with yourself if that happens. Spiritual union and triumph. Look at that. The thing is, Virgo, your sun in the 11th house and your moon in the 5th house are making a positive aspect to the North Node in the 7th house. So there is some kind of destiny that could be awakened when it comes to partnerships. So it's time to let go old anger. Why does nobody love me? Why aren't things working out for me? Right? There could be a union happening very soon for you. Triumph. So sometimes we have to let go of old patterns, old, you know, mm, relationships that, yeah, at that point you were a different person, right? And we cannot always blame ourselves. Like sometimes we are naive and we fall for the wrong person. And that really, it happens and it forms you and it shapes you and it makes you wiser. And if you take that advice, you can actually have this beautiful union. You can be successful. Okay. Like even some of you are getting married this year or making plans to get married. And we have the North Node in Pisces, right? So this is a spiritual union. Pisces likes to have something spiritual, something more out of this world. That's what you're looking for. Prosperity begins. Okay. So a lot of good things are coming your way. Be very careful with investing, Virgo, especially Virgo rising. Be very careful with investing because you have Saturn and Neptune and Chiron in the 8th house. So investments can be a little disappointing. Okay. So be very careful with that. Anyways, overall, it's a very good time for you. A lot of things can happen. Just there could be some people coming on your path. They're trying to put you down or trying to stop your progress. Make sure you recognize it on time. Okay, July is kind of the time where people who don't really like you will be presented. Okay, they're going to be presented to you, so just keep your eyes open and don't respond. because you can close down a lot of karma by not responding is the best way to go for it. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Virgos. If you want to book a reading with me or want to look at my coaching program, have a look at my website. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for being here. Let's move on to Libra. So Libra, sun, moon, and rising. So for you, we have this full moon in Capricorn in your fourth house, and it's opposing the sun in the 10th house together with Jupiter. So Libra, this is your time to shine. This is your time to come forward and to, do the dream job or go after the dream job that you want, launch your business. Mercury is in the 11th house, okay? We're soon going to have Mercury retrograde, so it's not the best time further in July to launch anything, right? But maybe you want to revise your things that you've been working on and waiting until after, waiting until August. But in general, this is a really brilliant year for you, and work can absolutely take off. Okay. Moon in the fourth house could be related to uncomfortable feelings when it comes to the family, when it comes to ancestral line. Um, it could be that they are not fully in agreement with the job that you're doing, or the way you're doing things, or the way you present yourself in the public. We have, Mars in the 12th house and the South Node in the 12th house, and they're soon going to be in a conjunction, and they're aspecting this moon in the fourth house. So it's related to past lives, past life patterns. Maybe some people behind the scenes gossiping or, saying stuff, but always I say don't react. Let enemies be your enemies, send them love, because it has nothing to do with you unless you did something to them. Take accountability. That's what Capricorn wants. And apologize, and then you move on. Okay. So here you could be spending time with family around this day, spending time at home. Maybe you're preparing for, maybe you're working from home or preparing for your new job. Okay. Uranus is now in your ninth house. It's together with Venus. So some of you are going on a holiday, going on a trip, like I said, visiting family. You could be looking for a new home, moving. Moving for work. Like some people are actually, some of you Libras are moving for work. You're digital nomading, because Uranus now is in the ninth house and it likes to travel, or you're gonna just travel a lot, making money by means of traveling, or this idea could be coming to you right now. You have the North Node in the sixth house, and it's aspected positively by the sun and the moon. Okay. So you're going to maybe have a new daily routine that fits in with your new work, or that fits in with, yeah, just a new daily routine that makes you feel better about yourself. Relationships could be a bit more complicated now. Okay. Um, it's probably because now you're in a very successful cycle. So here you will see if your partner is going to stick with you, okay? If you're going to be successful, or that they feel threatened that you overstep them. If you go through it, you can talk and you can make this work long term, then Saturn will absolutely reward your relationship. I'm getting disruption, okay? So there might be some disruptions. I'm getting material and spiritual prosperity. So make sure that, it's good to share your success, but share it with the right people. Okay. Share your success with the right people. Love begins. You're going to start loving yourself. This is going to be noticed by others. Okay. Fulfillment of wishes. So you're definitely in a good time. So let people say whatever they want to say. Um, if you feel like subconscious anger coming up, do your meditation, because ultimately it doesn't matter what people have to say, right? Like prosperity. It's always like that. When you're growing and you're doing well and things are going your way, it always triggers something within others because they want the same thing, you know, they're not bad people. They just want the same thing as you, and they think it's impossible for them to get there, right? And they will get there in their own time when they overcame their own obstacles and their own lessons, okay? Then they will get where they need to be themselves. So, yeah, that would be my message for you, my amazing Libra. Keep shining. This is your time. It's really important time for you. And yeah, don't get too impacted or affected by what others have to say. Because if this is something you want to do or something you want to follow, and then following your heart is the most important, okay? So that's my message for you. Thank you so much. If you would be interested in a reading with me or want to have a look at my coaching program, you can check out my website. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much, Libra. Let's move on to Scorpio. So Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Capricorn in your third house. Okay, so a lot of you Scorpios are going on a trip, especially Scorpio Rising. Jupiter is now in your ninth house, so overseas travel. Some of you are even going to look at a house abroad, might be moving abroad, studying, or studying abroad, right? You could become a teacher of some sorts, teaching in spirituality. Uh, you could be, you know, if you're working in real estate overseas or abroad, you're going to be very successful around this time, okay? So yeah, if you have any exams or studies, this is a really good time to do that. Um, we do have Mars and the South Node in your 11th house. So be very careful with friendships, okay? Some friends might not be fully who they seem to be, and they will show themselves around this full moon. But in general, in July, you will see people's real faces because Mars is gonna boil the anger up. It's gonna tune it up, and you will see in the way they speak to you, because it's Virgo, it's Mercury, it's speech. So you will see in the way they speak to you what they are really all about, okay? But don't worry, sometimes some friends need to go, or just more distance, right? The ultimate decision is not always cutting off, it unless it's harmful for you, right? And we have then the North Node in the fifth house, because maybe those friends are holding you back and they are trying to get you off your path. And we have now the sun and we have the moon in a positive aspect with the North Node in Pisces in the fifth house. So maybe you want to work on some creative projects, you want to travel, you want to, you know, some of you want to even get pregnant, and you feel like your friends are not fully there for you in the process. Okay. And now friends don't need to be there for you with every single step. But, you know, I think a really good sign to see if people are happy for you, um, I think that's a huge sign on what they're really thinking about you, right? And yeah, even on my own journey, I had to realize like who are my real friends. And usually you can kind of tell because they're already saying like, "Oh, this person really like is being so surprised that other people like you," or you know, why or projecting something onto you that you didn't do. It's projection. Okay, so you'll figure it out. But you're in a very spiritual cycle with Jupiter in the ninth house. It's a beautiful time to do some research, to read into spiritual subjects. Um, yeah, like I said, some of you are becoming teachers and a very nurturing teacher. Maybe you need to do some study to become one, to become a teacher of some sorts, or a spiritual guide, or you know, like I said, even if you want to work in real estate or if you're going to do something with import and export, it's all going to be good. Suffering in silence. Like now, some of you are. maybe having a hard time because Pluto is in the fourth house, right? And this can really internally change everything. And especially if you have an early degree Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have Pluto square your Sun, Moon, and Rising, right? So that's really doing a lot of internal cleanup. So everything that no longer serves you need to go. So this pain or suffering is actually there to but make you even stronger, internally stronger. You're going to be more grounded than ever. Okay. Sacral chakra. So maybe that was blocked. Maybe you didn't feel safe. You didn't feel very safe in your body, right? You had fears that need to go out. And that is preparing you for a very successful year, especially next year when Jupiter is in Leo. You have to clean up everything that makes you unstable, everything that holding you back. Authority, like when to say no, when to stand up for yourself, and when is enough, right? So with this progress, you're going to be ready for next year because there are going to be a lot of celebrations. Look at that. So you are preparing for success. So keep studying, keep working towards where it is you want to go. And there will be a lot of wisdom coming to you. Okay. I'm getting deception and envy. So don't let that hold you back. Okay. We have also Uranus in the eighth house. So a lot of you might be more interested in astrology, interested in certain technology together, and, maybe quantum physics, things like that, on how to work on your cycles, because you're going to break a lot of ancestral cycles, but also cycles with friendships. And these patterns will show you a lot about your childhood as well, because sometimes the people we attract, they simply repeat what we've been through in childhood. Same with relationships. Until we see what we need to learn, we're going to be stuck in the same pattern. And you're going to definitely work on that. And knowing Scorpio, I know you're going to figure it out because you're the best detective there is. So you're going to figure out what it is that is holding you back. Okay. But definitely a beautiful time for traveling, expansion, learning, your spiritual journey, doing a retreat, for example, organizing one. Well, organizing one, maybe not this month because of Mars and the South Node, okay? But later in the year, definitely really good for you. So that's my message for you, my amazing Scorpio. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like to book a reading with me or you would like to look at my coaching program, just look at my website and you find all the information. So thank you so much. And until next time, let's move on to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Capricorn in your second house, okay? And it's opposing the sun in your eighth house. So here we have to deal with finances and also worthiness. Because with Capricorn in the second house, sometimes you feel like earning money is very hard, and you have to work so hard to earn your money. And sometimes that's related because you think that you haven't done enough to earn it, right? So that's why with Capricorn, later in life, money is coming in. So you can find new ways on making money. Also, Jupiter's in the eighth house, so there could be some support coming in, like an investor. But be careful because this month we have Mars and the South Node in your 10th house. So this is related to your work. So there could be some hidden enemies or hidden people that you didn't know, maybe didn't like you in the workplace. So be very careful and observe who that is. Also, if you are angry in the workplace, make sure to meditate, rest, and talk when things have calmed down. But definitely after July is a better time, okay? Because it's still in a loose conjunction, but by the end of the month, it's going to be tighter. But yeah, if you're talking to investors, that's absolutely fine. Um, you can have money back from like an insurance, or you could have money back from taxes, or like a bill going wrong or something like that. You could be unexpected sources that are coming in. Yeah, so make wise investments. If you earn money and you want to make wise investments, make sure to make good investments. For you, the best would be in property, okay? Property investments. Uranus just went in your seventh house together with Venus, okay? Uranus in the seventh house is looking for freedom in partnerships, business partnerships, relationships. Um, yeah, this is just like, I want you to be fully you, and you want me to be fully me. And that's really important. So you can attract someone much older, much younger, very quirky, having very Aquarius-like traits. Okay. But yeah, it doesn't mean that relationships can't work. Actually, this can be a very nice placement to let each other free and to be committed to each other. Okay. Let me get you a card, Sag. Emotional withdrawal. So some of you are definitely gonna take some time off. Maybe you need to rest, pull back, and really see what is important to you. What is it that you want? Okay. Conflict and defeat. Like some of you need to overcome some obstacles with work and your feelings towards work, or maybe towards the boss. There could be some problems coming in. If there's any legal problems right now, you are fully supported by Jupiter, okay? Love begins, unless there's other aspects, right? But in general, you are supported or have the benefit of the doubt right now. Love begins, okay? So it's time to love yourself, and to love yourself for all your quirks, for everything that makes you different. Success. So basically, what is important now is, maybe you're feeling like spending more time at home. You don't want to be out and about so much because you want to realign with your vision. You want to realign with what is important to you. Maybe you want to spend more time with family, or just, being comfortable working on your spiritual journey in, from the home, in the house, and decorating it in a way that feels peaceful for you. But this year, you have the opportunity to break a lot of cycles, especially regarding the mother line. Okay, so anything that comes up in the mother line that is complicated, there is a huge chance for healing there. Okay, so that would be my message for you, my amazing Sagittarius. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Also have a look at my website. I offer coaching programs and readings for everyone. So thank you so much for being here. And until next time, thank you so much. Let's move on to Capricorn. So Capricorn, Sun and Rising, we have this full moon in Capricorn at 18 degrees in your first house. So especially impacted are you Capricorns who have around 18 degrees, Sun and Rising, okay? 5 degrees up and down. Jupiter now in your seventh house, okay, together with the sun. So look at that. It's time for love, love and commitment, maybe even marriage for some of you. It's time, and if you're single, this is a beautiful time to go out and about, okay? Because the moon here in your first house is triggering you to go with the flow, to let go on how things should happen. So if you're single, like go with the flow. This is most important. And look at your identity and see maybe where you feel like something is lacking. Okay. Where can you still accept more of yourself? Okay. To attract the person that you want to attract. We have Mars in the ninth house, okay? And it's coming closer to the south node. And what is happening here is that I don't know if you hear the meow. Come here. Come here, little one. Oink, oink, come here. Yeah, I'm doing Capricorn. I'm not done yet. And then you're gonna get food, okay? And then you're gonna get food. Yay. Oi, you're such a cutie. He's not going so well yet with my other cat. I'm really sad about it. I really hope she's going to accept him because he accepts her and, you know, he accepts her, but she's not accepting him yet. And he's so sweet to her. He really wants to play and everything. But she is, you know, Pacha is really a tiger. She's the boss and he's not submitting to her. So, yeah. Anyways, let's continue with the astrology. So, talking about pets, you have Uranus in the sixth house and Venus there. So, it could actually be that an unexpected pet is coming in for you. But yeah, I was talking about Mars and the South Node in your ninth house. So, there could be some teachers that turn out maybe not wanting the best for you, right? And this is quite hurtful, quite shocking. If you are, for example, in a spiritual group, then it turns out that the teacher is not genuine. So make sure that the person that you are taking classes with has the right intentions for you. But don't worry, this month is going to reveal everyone who's kind of not on your side, okay, with this placement. So it's actually a good one because some things are hidden, and with this placement, people's anger cannot really stay hidden, okay? Sudden movement of job because of Uranus and Venus in the sixth house, okay? You could be becoming self-employed or looking for a job that gives you just more freedom. Yeah, in the upcoming years, sometimes it could be that you're changing jobs more often. And this is because Uranus likes freedom. And if you're going to be in a very standard kind of job, it's going to pull you out of it because it searches this freedom. So unless you have a job that gives you a lot of freedom, you're probably not going to stay in one place for a very long time. Okay. Okay. Some of you are having doubts. I'm seeing conflict and defeat. You're having some doubts about things, maybe some choices, maybe some, family situations as well, because you have Saturn there in the fourth house. Yeah. Maybe your family is not fully behind your partner or not fully accepting him or her. I'm getting emotional withdrawal. So you need some time to reflect, some time to spend with yourself. If you're traveling around this full moon, okay, be very careful, plan it very well, because you might be getting like discussions with the stewards or the pilot or the bus driver. Just make sure that, because I'm getting mental conflict. A lot of people are in mental conflict around this day, okay? So any frustration that you have towards the people you meet during your trip, breathe in, breathe out, because everyone is having the same aspect right now, okay? Getting authority and trapped in fear. So Capricorn, what is holding you back? It seems like some fears are coming up and they are now ready to be resolved, right? With this full moon, because moon is really highlighting your emotions during this full moon. So what are your fears? Are you afraid that maybe, abandonment issues when it comes to partnerships, or you feel like you're not good enough, or you're going to make a mistake? And I always recommend to sit through those feelings, sit through them, because sometimes they are part of a past that's no longer there. They're part of, who you were, but they're not part of you anymore. So working on letting it go and, letting it go and letting it flow, okay? Because you are ready for this partnership. And, the moment you're ready, it's going to come with Jupiter in the seventh house, okay? I'm getting one. Rest and rejuvenate. So some of you need some rest during this time, some self-reflection, because like a new path can be can begin literally for you. Okay. And it might be scary and it's going to bring all these fears up in whatever you're going to start anew right now, because the first house can create a new pathway. Okay. And it's going to be highlighted, but don't be afraid, because sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zone. Like life is never going to stay the same. So accept the change and it's going to be a lot easier for you. Okay. So that's my message for you, my amazing Capricorn. Thank you so much for being here. If you like to book a reading with me or look at my coaching program, have a look at my website that you find in the description box below. And until next time. So let's move on now to Aquarius. So Aquarius, Sun and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Capricorn in your 12th house. So this is a beautiful time for you to rest, reflect, to meditate. Um, Jupiter is in the 6th house together with the sun. So the sun is in opposition with the moon, like with the full moon. And you could get some good news on your health. Okay. Maybe you had some issues with your health and now they're saying, you know what, we know what you have. Or you had an operation and it worked well and you just need some rest. Okay. Especially Aquarius rising. Um, then we have Uranus now in your 5th house together in a conjunction with Venus. So you kind of want to feel free when it comes to love. You don't want to be restricted. Some of you are dating. Some of you just want to spend time with your partner, have a lot of fun together, and especially having good conversations is important. Like you kind of have this feeling like we stick with each other, but we don't want to possess each other. You want to feel this lightness in the relationship that you're having. But yeah, good conversations about around this full moon. Okay, and if you're single, you just want to be open-minded about what type of partner that works best with Uranus. Okay, don't get stuck on certain ideas what someone should look like or what should they should be like. Then also we have Mars in the 8th house together with the South Node coming closer. Okay, by the end of the month, it's going to be very intense. It's in your 8th house. Okay, so a lot of past life karma is coming up, or not, it could be past life karma, but cycles that you need to break. Okay, be very careful with accidents. Okay, don't do anything too rash or too, all over the place. um yeah, there could be even, yeah, I don't want to say that, but a sudden passing of someone that could have a huge impact on you, that you could be very angry about. Like, why is this happening? And that's gonna change the way you see life. That's gonna change how you treat yourself. That's gonna change, and it could even just be, a famous celebrity or something, that could really impact you. Like, whoa, life is so short. Like, I should be focusing on what matters. I should be taking care of my body. I should be there for myself, right? You have Pluto at 2 degrees, so especially early birthday Aquarius, but also Moon around 2 degrees and uh, ascendant. You're gonna go through many, many cycles, okay? And around this full moon, you could get a breaking point in which you get angry and know what to break. I'm so done with this. And then suddenly it just comes. It's like a glimpse coming up, showing you exactly what it is that you need to break. Okay. Yeah, mental conflict. So, sweetie, come here. Come here. Okay, okay, okay. You can come here. So, yeah, I'm seeing this like yes, no question. Like maybe you have to make a certain decision, but you're not really sure on how to make that decision. Like you kind of know what you need to do. Stand your own ground, okay? So you need to stand your own ground around this full moon. Very, very important, okay? And take rest. Listen to your body. Um, sometimes you find it difficult to speak up. And what is happening around this full moon is that it can suddenly burst out. So, you've been suppressing a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings, and then suddenly you're gonna, it's gonna come out like something that's been bothering you for a long time. Okay. Also, watch out with investments, because investments right now might be scams, people that have not so good intentions. There could be some fights with insurance companies, pension companies, any kind of paperwork you need to do. There could be some real bad miscommunication. Okay. And then you need to think about maybe changing companies. And the best would be to do that after Mercury retrograde in August. Okay. Movement and choices. So there's some choices that you need to make around this time. Okay. Some choices that you need to make. Temptation. Okay. Eighth house is also temptation. So someone very attractive might be coming in, sweeping you off your feet. But, is this person coming back for you or for passion? And you need to decide if that is enough for you, or do you want someone to fully value you and to be with you, loving your soul, because eighth house ultimately it's physical union, but also you want someone that loves your soul, right? So a lot of decisions to make, and you see how you deal with that through tuning into your own intuition, right? Your intuition is quite strong. Pluto is very observative. I hope I said it correctly. You can observe things very well. So use those detective skills to see who's right or who's right with you and who doesn't have their best intentions. Okay. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Aquarius. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can check out my website. I also have, a coaching program and a course, astrology course that I teach one-on-one, because I like to really help people and transform them. So I prefer to do all of that one-on-one. True soon. So thank you so much for being here, and until next time. So let's move on to Pisces. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Capricorn in your 11th house, highlighting your community, your friendships. Right. And with Capricorn there in the 11th house, you prefer to have people that are long term with you than, a lot of short term friends. And it might actually be that your friends are going to either restrict you from going towards the projects that you want to do, or they're going to support you and tell you, they're going to be like this friend who's giving you like the hard advice that you kind of need, make a plan. You need a plan for the things that you want to do. So it's either or, because Capricorn can either restrict or it can actually be a hard teacher and they tell you what you need to hear. Also, this could be related to children. Like some of you are pregnant or expecting a child, and your friends could be either supportive or not so supportive. Okay. Now, the South Node is in the 7th house, and Mars is there as well. So if you're in a relationship, be very patient because there might be some words with your partner, and also a business partner. So if you're in a business partnership, there could also be some words there. This is kind of a make or break energy. Okay. So here you're gonna really see how people are feeling about you. Okay. But at the same time, you have very positive planets in your 5th house. So, it might not be a break. It might just be that you both need some space to think about certain things, okay? Or just cool down. Because it might even be an ex coming back, okay? This could be also someone from the past coming back, having words. Maybe they see that you are doing well, you're working on your projects, or you're expecting a child, and they want to, you know, have a conversation about something. The best is not to react. That's the highest karmic form. If there's something you need to take accountability for, that's what Capricorn really loves. So that would be a good solution on how to deal with that. You can ask your friends on how to deal with that, and they will give you like this strict advice that could be very helpful. Um, Money could be a little bit difficult around this time, Pisces. So make sure that you don't overspend and that you kind of save the money that you have, don't overspend at this point. Uranus went into your fourth house. So here you want to feel free when it comes to your living situation. Maybe you don't want to like live in one place. You want to live in several places or move around or have like a very techie home. I explain it more extensively in my Uranus transit video, so you can read that as well. But yeah, it's in a conjunction with Venus. So maybe you want to make some changes in the home. And it could even be that you're moving suddenly, okay? You could be moving suddenly. Truth. There might be some truth coming up in a certain situation, mental conflict that could make you think, right? Because Mars in Virgo can make you overthink and could be difficult. But you know what? You listen to your intuition. Look at that awareness. You're very intuitive, right? And you have the North Node in your first house. Now, the Sun and the Moon are making a positive aspect to your North Node. So you are going in a different direction. And you will see who is going to support you in this different direction. Maybe you have to walk away from a business partner, okay? Or a certain way of working with people. Maybe you need a different way of working with people, okay? Crown chakra. Um, yes, getting energy through your own, how do you say that? Through meditation, through connecting with yourself, closing your eyes, connecting with yourself, heart chakra. So you're going to connect with your heart. You're going to connect with yourself. Patience and planning. Okay. So you might need some patience and planning, but you are going on this new path that might be quite scary. That might be something unfamiliar for you, having it, starting a business, having a child, starting a social media account or things like that, anything new. It feels scary, but it's going to lead you towards more independence and spiritual strength. It's going to give you a lot of strength, that you can do it yourself. Because it doesn't matter if you know, it's healthy to have something for yourself, right? Even if you're in a relationship, it's nice. You don't have to make a lot of money, but it's nice to have something for yourself independently, right? To have your own hobby or to have your own skills that you're working on. And that's what you're doing right now. You're going to really do what makes you like special, almost what makes you you, right, Pisces? So yeah, a change, uncomfortable change. Your friends will help you, even though it looks like harsh advice maybe, but they will be helping you around this time. Yeah, and there could be someone from the past coming back, having some comments or needing to talk something true. So yeah, stay calm, stay chill. And that was my message for you, my amazing Pisces. Thank you so much for watching. If you like to book a reading with me, check out my website. I have an intuitive coaching program, so you can check that out as well. And I wish you all the best. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye bye.